3 one-goal games. Only 2 wins for the home team. Only 1 lead change within the 6 games. The winner moves on to the West Final. The loser will not play another meaningful game until October. For the Stars, St. Louis native Ben Bishop, 2 career Game 7s, 2 shutouts. As a teenager, cheered opposing goaltenders at Blues playoff games. Tonight, a suite full of friends and family rooting for the Vezina Trophy finalists. At the other end, 25-year-old Jordan Binnington made his NHL debut exactly 4 months ago today. Rookie of the Year finalist, 1 win away from the Western Conference Final. The candidate, Alex Pietrangelo, starts the game on defense for St. Louis with Joel Edmondson. The 4th line, Barbashev, Sundqvist, Steen up front. For the Stars, Seguin, Dickinson, Zuccarello, Lindell, and Klingberg. Game 7 is underway. Edmondson with the puck, flips it out into the neutral zone. Taken away, Lindell by Steen. Barbashev looking to connect with Sundqvist. Dickinson pushed to the boards by Barbashev. Puck moved up the boards by Klingberg. Flipped up into the Dallas bench by Tyler Seguin.
Well, you're always looking for nerves. Which team is nervous? You get Binnington, you mentioned here, Kenny, but look at that handle. Confident, coming out of the net, moving that puck to his defenseman. To Edmondson, no hesitation at all. Touch the puck. You're into your first Game 7, kid.
You know what's interesting about him? Everybody calls him kid or young. He's 25 years of age. He's got a wealth of experience, just not at this level. But he's really been calm, and he's a huge bounce-back ability for the Blues. Especially if you look at it, his Game 6 performance in Dallas, he was very stellar.
First year in the National Hockey League, first Game 7. Welcome to the show, kid.
Tarasenko with the puck, tough angle shot off the side of the net. Tarasenko controls for the Blues. Puck taken away by Heiskanen. Tarasenko recovers, cuts away from Roman Polak. Tarasenko on the ice with Jaden Schwartz and Braden Shen. This is Parayko for Tarasenko, shoots wide. Now Shen with the puck for the Blues. Tarasenko bottled up by the ex-Blue Roman Polak. Schwartz comes away with the puck. Schwartz towards the net, just wide to the right of Bishop.
We had Shen wide open on that weak side. Heck of a shift here by the Blues.
Heiskanen with the puck for Dallas. Dickinson spun away from Perron. Sent in deep by Jamie Benn. Both teams made changes, just over 1 minute gone in period 1.
When you get Seguin and Benn on the ice for the Blues, or for the Dallas Stars, the Blues want them to defend. That's exactly what happened on that last shift.
Alexander Radulov with the puck. Backhands in to the right of Binnington. Hintz in behind the net for Radulov. Back out to Lindell, and then across to Klingberg. Dropping it off for Rope Hintz. And now Matt Zuccarello tried the return. Puck squirts to Binnington, he covers.
Incredible job taking over in November.
Connor Bozak. Heiskanen hit up high with that shot. Pat Maroon met by Radek Faksa. This line has been so effective for the Blues. Maroon with Thomas and Bozak. Faksa clears the puck ahead for Andrew Cogliano. And now Blake Como. Worked off by Vince Dunn.
There's one of those plays there. That puck's got to get in deep.
Maroon, next man to the puck. Now Thomas. Out to the right point. Shot by Parayko, misses the net. Held in at the line by Jay Bolmeister. Now Heiskanen and Braden Shen. David Schwartz to the puck. Schwartz carries around behind the Dallas goal. Schwartz moves it into the corner. This is Thomas. Thomas spinning away from Cogliano. Now Schwartz once again. Schwartz out to the point, shot by Parayko. And now Heiskanen unable to clear. Now the puck comes out of the zone, brought back in offside by Jay Bolmeister.
Here's Blake Como. He's got to get the puck to the red line, and he's got to get this puck in deep. But he tries to make a play. Vince Dunn stops him. Now all of a sudden St. Louis gets a couple of good offensive looks. So simple play. Get the puck to the red line. Make sure it gets in behind. No soft plays to the middle of the ice. Something the coaches talked about this morning. The players talked about. We touched on it, Kenny, a little bit earlier. don't want to give any free opportunities to the opposition. Force them to come 200 feet to generate offense. Because look, they're going to get their chances. Don't give them any.
Number 25 on the ice for Dallas, Brett Ritchie, his first appearance in the Stanley Cup playoffs, replacing Matthias Janmark in the Stars lineup. This is Ritchie with the puck. Third career postseason game. Into the left of Binnington. Now Ritchie with it once again on goal. Binnington will hang on to it.
Might get a second or third chance opportunity out of that. Something Dallas was not able to accomplish in Game 6. A lot of one and done offensively.
Taylor Fedun with a shot, blocked aside by Binnington. Hintz over to play the puck. Hintz did not skate this morning. He's been banged up a bit, has blocked a number of shots in this series. Bouwmeester cutting wide. Lovejoy stayed with him. Bouwmeester flips the puck around. David Perron scored the game winner in Game 6. Kept alive by the Blues. This is Perron. Perron off the side of the cage.
There was some room there. Bishop was down. Perron tried to go top shelf, short side.
Perron with it again. Perron dropping it off for Sammy Blais. Playing in his second postseason game, scored a goal in Game 6. Puck comes to Parayko out at the right point, and now Perron. Extended zone time for the Blues. That shot was blocked by Fedun. Winds up in the stand.
Eddie, I don't think St. Louis could draw up anything better right now. They want to keep puck below the hash mark. They want to grind on the Dallas Stars players, try to break down their defense, and they're doing a good job so far.
Yeah, not a lot of one-on-one play, a lot of odd man situations. Here's David Perron. Look at this angle. And look at Bishop. He's on his way down here, and look at all that room up top. Lots of room. Down. I don't know if he lost his balance on that. On that replay, it kind of looked like maybe he just lost his footing a little bit there, Kenny. But I like the idea there from David Perron, as we saw from Ritchie a little bit earlier. Hey, you get to a Game 7. It's never a bad play to get the puck to the net, but especially in a Game 7.
Blues control the faceoff. Pietrangelo sliding to his left. Backhand shot. Deflects to the corner. Como is on it for the Stars. Now Thomas racing over. Beat Cogliano to the puck. The 19-year-old rookie, Robert Thomas. For the St. Louis native, Patrick Maroon. Back to Thomas. Spinning away from Como. Thomas to Maroon. That's the shot away. Save made by Bishop. Puck knocked out of trouble by Polak. Now Pietrangelo finds Bozak. Around behind for Maroon. Maroon up the boards. Pietrangelo waiting. Shoots, looking for the redirect. And now Como will clear the puck out. Another effective shift for the Bozak line. Now Heiskanen breaks his stick. Circling back with it is Braden Shen. Just over 5 minutes gone in period 1, Game 7. Jaden Schwartz into the Dallas zone. Backhands the puck around. Bishop up the boards. And now Zuccarello will clear it across for Dickinson. Has Klingberg with him. Dickinson for Zuccarello off his skate. Played behind the net by Klingberg. Out into the crease and knocked out of trouble by Shen. Klingberg with it once again. Cross ice behind Sagan. Now Sagan has time and space. He fires for the save by Binnington.
Good idea there from Tyler Sagan. Watch this beautiful pass from Robert Thomas. Unfortunately for Patrick Maroon, that puck exploded off his stick. He stayed with it. The aggressive goaltending of Ben Bishop. And yeah, playing a little tennis there. And then Polak's able to clear it out of harm's way. Missed opportunity there with a clean play. And then the same thing back at the other end for the Dallas Stars. Missed opportunity on the initial entry as that puck went rink wide to Zuccarello. The puck ended up exploding off his skate and into the corner.
Jamie Benn wins the draw. Essa Lindell moves the puck around over the stick of Hintz. Klingberg over to help out. Now Radulov. Radulov defended by Bouwmeester. Maintains control of the puck. Radulov spins along the goal line. Comes out in front of him. Lost it. Cleared to the boards by Sundqvist. Kept in the zone by Radulov. Now Hintz and Bouwmeester come together shoulder to shoulder. They both hit the ice. Radulov attempting to work it free. And now O'Reilly flips it ahead, knocked down by Jamie Benn for Radulov. O'Reilly back to retrieve.
Heck of a shift there for Radulov and Benn. And Hintz doing a lot of the dirty work below the goal line.
O'Reilly sends in deep. Lindell back on it for the Stars. Now Klingberg. 6.5 gone. Nice move by Justin Dowling. In across the Blues line. Knocked off by Dunn. Out into the neutralized area, and Fedun will fire back in.
Nice hit by Sundqvist on Ritchie.
Well, Dunn hits the ice on a hit from Ritchie. Jason Spencer with the puck. Out to the point for a shot by Lovejoy, which was blocked by Perron. Carried out by Sammy Blais. Cross size to Perron. Spezza shaken up back behind the play. Here comes Barbashev for Dunn. Looks like Barbashev had the shot. Bishop is down. Puck winds up in the corner. Dunn works it back out to Perron. Spun to the boards by Dowling. Kept alive by Barbashev.
Boy, I don't know how he did not shoot the puck there. Just trying to be way too nice. There's nobody in between him and Bishop.
Now it is done. Backhand shot by Perron. Just missed. Como over for Dallas. He clears the puck out. Cogliano and Dunn. Cogliano deflected by Barbashev. Now Tarasenko for Barbashev. Poked away from Tarasenko. Here comes Faksa. Save by Bennington. Face-off controlled by the Stars. Klingberg around behind, deflected by Parayko. Coming over is Heiskanen. Klingberg and Heiskanen on the ice together here with the offensive zone draw. That shot just missed off the stick of Hintz. Then a save by Bennington. The puck is cleared out of trouble all the way down. Now Heiskanen. O'Reilly it on the forecheck. Klingberg up the right side. Carried through the neutral zone by Radulov. Crisscrossing with Hintz. Into the right of Bennington. Hintz first man in. Now comes together with Sammy Blais.
Nice hit there in the corner to separate Hintz from the puck.
Blais with 9 hits in Game 6 to lead all players on both sides. And an effective one there.
And how about the howitzer of a goal?
Now Perron with the puck. Looking to get it through to Blais. Broken up by Klingberg. Ryan O'Reilly with it. Spinning on Tyler Seguin. Out to the left point for Edmondson. Across to Pietrangelo. His shot is gloved easily by Ben Bishop.
Well, we've had chances at both ends, but Jordan Binnington right here is going to feel a little bit of duress. Watch this, can't control the puck off the backboards, and Jay Bouwmeester and Tyler Bozak are there so that Jamie Benn of the Dallas Stars, watch right there, can't get to it. So Bozak and Bouwmeester, good job helping out their goaltender before Ben can get to the loose puck.
Look at that picture. 5 Blues in a picture right there, taking that puck out of harm's way.
Face-off control by the Stars. We've played 8.5 minutes. The first period, Game 7. Series tied 3 games apiece. Tarasenko into the middle for Schwartz. Schwartz pressed to the boards. Kept alive by Schenn. Out to Pietrangelo, a shot. That was blocked in front, did not make it through to Bishop.
Schwartz knocked the stick out of the hands of Blake Como in that near corner.
Now Como took the puck away from Schwartz. Faksa and Schenn, they come together, allowing Edmondson to play the loose puck. Back out to Pietrangelo, kept it in the zone. Now Pollock comes away with the puck for Dallas. Shots are 8-4 in favor of the Stars. Both teams make changes. Fourth line on the ice for St. Louis. Puck sent ahead by Pietrangelo, reflected along by Barbashev. Bishop behind the net to the far side, Zuccarello. Puck out of play.
Well, they're going to generate opportunities, so you got to pick your spots on when you're going to be physical.
Shot off the draw by Maroon was blocked.
It helped Seguin off the draw.
Maroon maintains control of the puck, spinning on Fedun. Now Thomas had it bounce off his stick. Dunn keeps it alive along the left wing boards, defended by Spezza, who was shaken up earlier. Dunn out at the left point, off the stick of Bozak. Comes down, Maroon looking for it. Now Thomas over to play the puck. Back into the corner for Maroon. Maroon out to the right point, Gunnarsson. Chased by Bozak, Spezza over for the Stars. He clears it out past Vince Dunn. Battle for the puck in the neutral zone. It's kicked back by Dowling. And now both teams make changes.
Nice job by Lovejoy there, recognizing the changes you just talked about, Kenny, for his forwards.
Binnington kept the puck away from Hintz. Picked up by Sammy Blais. Parayko could not get the stick on it. Ben keeps it alive in the St. Louis zone. Now Radulov back out past Ben and Heiskanen and down into the Dallas end.
This line has had some good looks. Hintz, Ben, and Radulov. Hintz is only staying out there probably 15, 20 seconds every shift.
Here's Ben dropping it off past Klingberg. O'Reilly then tied up Faksa. Perron into the Dallas zone, looks to split through the defense. Puck rolls towards the net. Bishop made the stop. It's loose. O'Reilly has it for St. Louis. He was knocked down by Faksa. Puck sent across by Cogliano. Here comes Como. Domo puts on the brakes, waiting for teammates. Drops it off to Cogliano, playing in his 6th Game 7, more than any other player on either side tonight.
7 straight years in the playoffs for Andrew Cogliano.
Ryan O'Reilly with the puck. Sent ahead by Perron. And then down ice by Pietrangelo.
All you can do is just worry about your next shift. You can't worry about missed opportunities at one end or turnover in your own.
Leading the turnovers, there's one committed by the Stars. Schwartz moves it back down off the stick of Bishop. Puck played by Shen, past Pietrangelo, and now the Blues must regroup. Pietrangelo hard around, over the stick of Schwartz. Klingberg moves it back into the blue zone. Dickinson sends in deep over the stick of Binnington. Shen over for St. Louis, and he moves it back the other way. Blues have iced it. 7:54 remaining, period 1. One by Hintz, out to Klingberg, away from Ben. Pietrangelo knocks it up the boards, kept in the zone by Hintz. Now Shen will send it back to his captain. Tarasenko moves the puck down ice, allowing the Blues to make a change following the icing. Here comes Klingberg through the neutral zone with speed. And across the line. Pass to the right side. Hintz back to Klingberg and a stick save. Great opportunity for the Stars on the rush.
And a great save from Binnington. There's that offense from the defense of the Dallas Stars.
Serious tempo through it, rotating, pushing the pace.
That line has been really good for Jim Montgomery so far here in period 1, Game 7. Radulov, Ben, and Hintz.
Stars outshooting the Blues 9-5. 7 minutes on the clock in this first period. Nice move by Thomas. Thomas holds along the boards. Surrounded by a couple of Stars. Sent across by Bozak. Zuccarello couldn't clear. Dunn moves it back behind the goal. Lovejoy kicks it onto his stick. And then reverses it around to Esselindell. Pietrangelo moving in from the point to keep the puck alive for St. Louis.
Good read there.
Now it is Thomas. Back out to Pietrangelo. And then across to Dunn. Dunn with a shot. He scores!
Tremendous aggressive play by the St. Louis Blues. They go D to D. Vince Dunn and Patrick Maroon might have got a piece of that.
What a read by Alex Pietrangelo. I talked about a great read. Watch the play by the defenseman. He recognizes this is an opportunity to keep the play alive. He skates down about 45 feet, pinches in. Now Thomas goes to work. Little give and go. D to D. Net front presence. And the Blues with a 1-0 lead. That's the whole play there by Pietrangelo.
Absolutely. Here's Heiskanen back into the St. Louis zone with a shot. That was blocked by Gunnarsson. Puck deflected to the netting.
Speaking of deflected, I just eyeballed Patrick Maroon. He said he got that puck and went off the shaft of his stick.
And how about that opportunity right before the goal for John Klingberg? Give and go with Hintz, gives it back to him, and then the opportunity, beautiful right pad save. Timely save at one end, and then what? 20 seconds later, Kenny, 25 seconds later, the puck ends up in the back of the net. You just never know when the momentum is going to change.
You heard Craig Berube talking about how he's been pulling it off Binnington for a while, and absolutely he's a huge part of the resurgence of the St. Louis Blues.
The team scoring first has won 5 of 6 games in this series. Dunn credited with the goal. We will see if they change it to Maroon. Here comes Barbashev, moving in on Bishop, who makes the stop. Puck down control by Alexander Steed, off the stick of Sundqvist. And the Stars will move the puck out. Now Spezza will spin it back.
Big time stop there from Bishop.
Tarasenko waiting for Barbashev to get back onside. Puck comes around. The Rope hits. Now Heiskanen, 5.5 to play in period 1. St. Louis Blues on home ice here in Game 7 with a 1-0 lead, and now the Stars have iced the puck.
Find their offense and put the puck into the back of the net.
Blues control, shot by Parayko, misses the net. Now a snuff attempt by Tarasenko, another shot. Tarasenko controls the second rebound attempt, shoots wide. Moving in from the point, Jay Bouwmeester. Now Schwartz, out to Parayko. Parayko deliberately off the end boards. That led to an opportunity for Schenn. It deflects to the netting.
At the National Hockey League level, so when you go to that, it gets the players' attention for sure during a TV timeout.
Here comes Lindell with the Stars trailing by a goal. Pagliano broke his stick on that shot. Como moves it back in. Remember, the Stars have won the last 2 games in this building. They won games 2 and 5 in St. Louis.
Together.
Heiskanen with the puck and then across to Klingberg. Klingberg with a shot. Bennington has it.
You know, you see San Jose do it with Burns and Carlson, and in Dallas they do it with Heiskanen and Klingberg, and it works, especially when you can dominate in the face-off circle.
Heiskanen left-handed, Klingberg right-handed. They remain on the ice. Zuccarello with the puck, sets up Klingberg for a shot that missed the net. Perron off the side of the cage. Zuccarello scores!
I know the Dallas Stars are excited and they're happy. I think there's going to be a challenge for goaltender interference. All the officials have come together. Binnington's going to lose the stick. Watch Seguin right here. He's going to run over, and eventually the stick's going to go away. Binnington loses his stick, and what does that do? He's looking to find it. He has no idea where he is in the crease, and they capitalize.
Is he allowed to establish position and regain the blue paint after the fact of the interference? Watch Binnington. The stick might have been getting knocked out of the hands from Edmondson, and then that puck took a crazy bounce. I think it actually went off the official and then bounced out to the front of the net, and Zuccarello was there.
Eddie, they looked at it long and hard down here, talking to the Blues video room. They will not challenge.
Yeah, I think because of the established, he had the ability to be able to get back in the blue paint and establish the position. It wasn't right away. There was that delayed time, right? The puck went to the corner. Perron got it. It takes a crazy bounce off the official, and then Zuccarello finds it in front of the net. It beats Binnington, who had lost his net and lost his stick.
But you're absolutely right, Eddie. It certainly appeared as if Binnington did have time to reestablish his position.
Exactly.
So Matt Zuccarello scores his first goal of this series, his 8th point. Puck deflects out off Barbashev, and now some extracurricular activity.
Well, David Perron had the puck into the corner, and he sees the pressure coming from Seguin, so he throws it around, and then there, right off the toe of the skate of the official, off the side of the net. Look at Binnington. He thinks the puck's going in behind him.
Off the skate of Mark Jonette, onto the stick of Matt Zuccarello.
What a series that man has had for the Dallas Stars. Matt Zuccarello getting his first goal of this series.
And somebody we highlighted in our open, getting ready for this Game 7. An outstanding.
His 15th career postseason goal.
Loves playing in Game 7s too, Kenny, huh?
Sure does. He's never lost. He's 3-0. All with the New York Rangers. Dickinson moves the puck down. Stars have iced it.
That's not a bad play there. He was getting some pressure. Don't want to make any soft plays. Yes, you ice the puck and you're going to have to come all the way down, but I like the mindset there of Dickinson to just make sure the puck gets out.
Done from Pietrangelo and Thomas, and then Zuccarello unassisted. 3.5 to play in period 1. The last Game 7 for both franchises against each other in 2016 in Dallas, a game won by the St. Louis Blues 6-1. Now Schwartz with a shot, turned aside by Bishop. Schenn controls for the Blues. Schenn just inside the blue line, leaned on by Klingberg, continues along with the puck, now shoots. Parayko and Hintz is able to clear the zone.
Play there for Braden Schenn. Good offensive look there.
Here's Parayko, applies the brakes. Parayko drops it off. Bouwmeester to the far side. Perron tees one up, misses the net. Back out it comes to Parayko, and then controlled by Hintz off the stick of Ben. Waiting for it, Bouwmeester. Shots now 13-10 Dallas in a 1-1 game. The winner will advance to the Western Conference Final against the winner of tomorrow's Game 7 between Colorado and San Jose. Puck kept in the zone by Perron, Lindell, and O'Reilly. Lindell will swing it around to Klingberg over his stick. And then a hit by Blais on Dickinson in front of the Dallas bench. They continue to battle for the puck. Seguin over for Dallas. Now Dickinson will clear it out of trouble.
Nice battle win there from Seguin after Blais made some contact again.
Edmondson flips it out. Controlled by Pollock. 2 minutes remaining in period 1. Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk, Pierre Maguire inside the glass from Enterprise Center in St. Louis. This is Thomas, knocked out of the air by Heiskanen. Faksa moves the puck along. Now it is Bozak, and then Pietrangelo. Up the middle, behind Thomas, racing over to play the puck is Tyler Bozak. Bozak controls. Now it is Dunn. Dunn with a shot. That was blocked by the stick of Como into the netting. Dunn battling with Heiskanen. Dunn hits the ice. Schwartz moves the puck around. Schenn and Pollock. 1:15 remaining in the period. Now Tarasenko with a shot. That was blocked. Seguin over for the Stars. Kept alive on the wall by Schenn. Past Seguin and Tarasenko. Racing over Schwartz. Big hit by Schwartz on Heiskanen. Heiskanen comes away with the puck. Final minute, first period. Puck out of play. It deflected, no penalty.
Schenn and Klingberg going at it there. It looked like somebody took a swing at somebody while Schenn was leaning over the bench there with John Klingberg. Well, yeah, there you see the glove of Klingberg grabbing the helmet, and Schenn with a little pushback. No harm, no foul. And Anton Khudobin with a first row seat, and then the good hit there from Schwartz on Heiskanen. But as you mentioned, Kenny, the young defenseman found the puck and was able to move it ahead.
A happy 33rd birthday today to Anton Khudobin, Stars backup goaltender who finished the game after Bishop took that high, hard shot from Parayko and allowed the 2 goals in 33 seconds in Game 6. Puck sent ahead by Lindell, deflected out by Ben. 30 seconds remaining in period 1. Vince Dunn and Matt Zuccarello, the goal scorers. Shots are 13-10 Dallas. Lindell hanging on to the puck. Up the middle, Cogliano, and then Como. Knocked off his stick by Bouwmeester, kept alive, and a drive by Lovejoy misses the net. Puck cleared out by the Blues with 5 seconds. 20 in the books here in St. Louis. Game 7, tied, 1 apiece.
You guys just have that ability.
Second period underway as Parayko sends the puck down. Lovejoy back for Heiskanen. Now Hintz. He had Sundqvist to the puck. Kane unable to clear the zone. Parayko backhands around behind the Dallas net. Heiskanen up the boards. Radulov tied up by Bouwmeester. Puck rolls into the right of Binnington. Bouwmeester. Far side. Radulov next man to it. Radulov into the corner for Jamie Benn. Towards the net. But Seguin could not get the stick on it. Puck is cleared out by Barbashev. Gathered in by Lovejoy. Opening minute, second period, Game 7 in St. Louis. Into the left of Binnington. Dickinson got it chipped away. Alexander Steen up the boards to Ivan Barbashev. Klingberg on it. Sundqvist on the forecheck. Backhanded along and out to center. Schwartz waiting for teammates to clear the zone. Zuccarello held in by Edmondson. Now Tarasenko for St. Louis. Knocked away by Klingberg. Here's Zuccarello. He clears the puck out into the neutralized area, and then it's sent back down by Joel Edmondson. Tarasenko cut away from Zuccarello. Out in front for a shot, saved by Bishop. Zuccarello knocked to the ice. Faksa clears the puck ahead for Dickinson, and then across to Klingberg. The defenseman John Klingberg leading the rush, backs it up. Cross ice off the stick of Cogliano.
Missed opportunity there, Cogliano. Put him in all alone there with just a mishandle.
Here come the Blues. Edmondson with a shot. Now Shin unable to send the rebound on goal. Gathered in by Tarasenko. Vladimir Tarasenko out near the blue line. Dropped it off, but Edmondson was heading off to the Blues bench.
They had to be careful there. Good communication from the bench to the ice.
Now Foxa moves the puck along. Gunnarsson in pursuit. Play in a collision with Spezza. Nice touch pass from O'Reilly to Vince Dunn. Dunn holds. Sends it around behind. O'Reilly behind the net. Now good positioning by Dowling. Feeds Spezza and he clears. No icing. Puck retrieved by Vince Dunn. Now Gunnarsson up the left side. Here comes O'Reilly. Early second period. Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk, Pierre McGuire inside the glass. Game 7 tied at 1. Sammy Blais with the puck. Out to Parayko. Lines and shoots, and that one was blocked by who else? Hintz. He's been throwing himself in front of pucks all series long. The 2 Stars. Now Bozak with the puck. Cross-ice pass. Taken away from Thomas by Radulov. Deflected out by Ben. Sent out of play off the stick of Parayko.
Well, Tarasenko getting that puck up to Joel Edmondson. It looks like he's going to pass the puck, and then he just walks right between the D. And a good save from Ben Bishop. And an opportunity short side to play from Tarasenko to Shen. Head up. Looks like he's going to go around the net. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the goaltender to follow you in behind. So if he happens to leave that post, there'll be some room there. But Bishop held his ground and offside here against the Blues.
Puck sent ahead by Thomas away from Maroon. Lovejoy looking around. Saw Maroon coming. Now Cogliano with the puck for Dallas. And he will flip it out into the neutral ice area.
Lovejoy and Maroon were teammates with the New Jersey Devils a season ago.
Here's Gunnarsson. Softly into the corner. Sent around by Bozak. Zuccarello next man to the puck. Stars have iced it. Puck held in by Edmondson. Now Shen keeps it away from Heiskanen. Shen spinning with the puck. Shen out to the right point. Pietrangelo is on it there. Long shot misses the net. Zuccarello and Edmondson came together. Off the stick of Tarasenko. Forced over to help out. Now Lovejoy moves the puck up the board. Zuccarello waiting. Can't get it past Edmondson twice. And on the third opportunity, he cleared. Moved along by Dickinson as both teams make changes. Game 7, tied at 1. Early second period. Puck cut off by Justin Dowling. In across the St. Louis line for Jason Spezza. Now Zuccarello winds the puck around. And then heads off to the Dallas bench. Pass from Klingberg off the stick of Ritchie. Comes back out to Klingberg who shoots and misses the net. Barbashev knocks the puck out of the zone for St. Louis.
Braden Shen might have got a skate in the side from Alex Pietrangelo.
Here's Dowling cutting to his left, shoots. Puck comes across. Shen remains on the ice. Can't clear. Held in momentarily by Spezza, then sent along by Steen for Barbashev.
Okay, he started reaching into his left side and actually lifted up his jersey to make sure that he wasn't cut. Dangerous play on that shot block attempt.
Puck rolled off the stick of Jamie Benn. Barbashev controls for St. Louis. Up the middle. Klingberg got a stick on it. Now it is Radulov. Up the right side and down. Radulov took a heavy hit from Barbashev as the Stars have iced the puck.
Oh, that's a big body play by Barbashev against a big man in Radulov, and he made him pay. You want to be physical if you're the Blues. Radulov moves a puck. That's a clean hit, hard hit, and he put him in and made him pay. Got him off balance, and that's not a comfortable feeling if you're Radulov.
The hit from his countryman, Barbashev, shot by Perron, is stopped by Bishop.
Beautiful face-off win there from O'Reilly.
Here's Ken, flips the puck along into the right of Bennington. Radulov and Bouwmeester. Hintz able to work it back out to Lindell, slides it across. Good defensive play by Sammy Blais to break it up.
Another opportunity for the Dallas Stars to fire that puck at the net instead of trying to make a pass. Don't want to turn down those lanes. When they're there, no hesitation. Just get it to the net.
Now Seguin shoots in. Parayko up the right side. Thomas moves it ahead to Maroon. Backhands in around Heiskanen. Pollock on the puck for Dallas. Up the right side to a waiting Zuccarello. Backhanded along by Bozak. And now down into the Dallas zone. The Blues have iced the puck with 13:23 remaining, period 2. Face off to the left of Binnington in a 1-1 game. Bozak and Spezza. Puck comes to Heiskanen. Puts to sidestep Thomas. Moves it in behind the net. Heiskanen still with the puck.
Nice job by Thomas there, one-on-one on Heiskanen.
19-year-old on 19-year-old. Now Thomas with the puck. Cross ice. To not connect with Maroon. Maroon from his knees keeps it alive to Thomas. Thomas stick handles around Klingberg. Thomas out in front of the skate of Heiskanen. And out for the first penalty as Bozak was upended.
Talked about the great shift from Robert Thomas defensively here on Miro Heiskanen. Watch the stick of Heiskanen. He's making a pass and he ends up hitting the face of Robert Thomas. That is not a penalty. That is a follow through on a pass or a shot. That is not a penalty. Unfortunately, the face gets in the way, but Thomas did a heck of a job helping his linesmate draw a penalty. Power play Blues.
Ritchie in the box for tripping Bozak. Stars move the puck down ice. The Stars have allowed only 2 power play goals throughout the entire postseason, both scored by Tarasenko in this series. Tarasenko with the puck. Now O'Reilly, then Tarasenko. Dropping it off for Schenn. Schenn over to Pietrangelo with the Blues on the power play. Now Schenn carries in deep. Back out it comes to O'Reilly. And then Pietrangelo. They switch spots. Back across to O'Reilly. Then Pietrangelo. Tarasenko, right wing circle. Down low, out in front on the stick of Schwartz. O'Reilly keeps it alive for Pietrangelo. Down to Tarasenko, a drive and a save by Bishop. Puck to the netting. Power play continues for St. Louis. Lindell moves the puck ahead, and it's cleared down ice by Hintz with 1 minute remaining on the Dallas penalty. Tied at 1, just under 12 to play, second period, game 7. Ryan O'Reilly starts up ice. Now Pietrangelo in across the line. Passes in the skate of Schwartz, carried out by Dickinson, and he will move it softly down into the St. Louis zone.
Boy, a nice entry by the Blues, and then that bad pass from Pietrangelo.
Now Perron just off the bench.
Everything blew up right after that.
Thomas finds Maroon. Maroon drops it out to the left point. Perron on it there. Cross for Dunn, who has the St. Louis goal. Dunn, now to Perron. Here's Thomas for Perron. Did not get good wood on it. Kept alive by Maroon. Time winding down on this St. Louis power play. Maroon in behind the net. Puck taken away by Pollock. Gets it back out to Perron. Ritchie getting set to return. Perron carries it behind the net. Puck knocked to the corner by Pollock. Penalty is over. Ritchie out of the box. One shot got through to Bishop on that power play for St. Louis. We remain deadlocked at 1 as the Stars clear the puck out.
The forwards for the Stars do such a great job getting in the lane. St. Louis can't get any point shots.
Now Maroon with a shot. That is handled by Ben Bishop.
Watch Robert Thomas on this power play. The Blues are going to be moving the puck around here, but watch the route that he takes. He comes all the way out here to become an option, and then he makes the pass. Watch this. Look at Thomas. Look at him. He's coming out. He's building up some speed. Looks like he's going to shoot it. Not so fast. And then a missed shot there from Perron. So a heck of a last couple of minutes for Robert Thomas. Great defense.
For the Blues rookie. Stars back at full strength. Tied at 1. Shots 16-13 St. Louis. 2 Blues, 2 Stars. Corner to the right of Bishop. They battle for the puck. Work 3 by Klingberg. Now Ben with the lead pass just out of the reach of Seguin. No icing.
Binnington left the blue paint. That's why there was no icing. Binnington clearly left his blue paint. Good job by the officials.
Klingberg keeps the puck alive. Shot by Seguin. Stop. And then Ben off the side of the cage. Seguin works the puck back out. Heiskanen could not hold in. And now Sundqvist, the first man in for St. Louis. Out for Barbashev, off Klingberg. And now it is Hintz back the other way. End-to-end action here in St. Louis. Zuccarello drops it off. Klingberg with a shot, and that's blocked by Steve.
Excellent back check there from Steen.
9.5 to play in period 2. Here comes Klingberg.
How about the pass from Zuccarello to set up that chance?
Now Klingberg out in front. That's picked off. Puck then was knocked away from Schenn. Tarasenko tripped up. Delayed penalty coming up against Dallas.
That's going to be on Klingberg.
Off to the bench goes Binnington. Long skate. Long change in the second period. Extra skater now on for the Blues. Here they come. Tarasenko. Now Cogliano the touch. Blues to their second straight power play.
Well, this penalty kill is going to need to be resilient again. John Klingberg, the defenseman, jumps into the play. Gets the stick in between the legs. Little finisher can opener on Tarasenko. Power play Blues again. Let's see if they can get into their sense, into their schemes. Get that puck in the middle of the ice. If you start shooting the puck from the middle, the sides will open. I think they got to try to establish that shot first instead of trying to pass the puck in the middle of the ice.
Puck is cleared down ice by Seguin. The Blues with 4 forwards on the ice, plus Pietrangelo. They have Tarasenko, O'Reilly, Schenn, and Schwartz. Klingberg in the box for tripping. Second straight man advantage for St. Louis in a 1-1 game. Tarasenko for Schenn. Down the right side. Braden Schenn back out to the point. Pietrangelo is on it. Now to O'Reilly. Tarasenko back to Ryan O'Reilly. And then out to Pietrangelo straight away. He fires wide.
Good idea there.
Cogliano right in the lane. Fantastic job by 17 and White.
O'Reilly back out. Pietrangelo with the puck. Now to Tarasenko. Back to Alex Pietrangelo. Tarasenko once again. James Schwartz coming out of the corner. Good stick work by Cogliano. Held in by Pietrangelo for O'Reilly. O'Reilly in deep. Tarasenko comes out in front. Good play by Lovejoy, and then it's cleared by Dickinson. Midway through this St. Louis power play. Tarasenko back down the right side. Tarasenko with a shot. That was blocked off the glass behind the net and down into the St. Louis zone. Changes for St. Louis. Pietrangelo remains on the ice. Perron has come out along with Thomas, Maroon, and Bozak. Now Pietrangelo to the bench, replaced by Dunn. This is Thomas moving to his left. 20 seconds remaining on the Dallas penalty. Esa Lindell to the puck. Can't clear. It was held in by Perron. Taken away by Foxa. To the skates of Perron and then sent down ice by Lindell.
The coach is right. They're relentless.
This is the 37th opposition power play against Dallas. They've allowed exactly 2 goals. Nice move by Dunn with a shot. Bishop turns it aside. Penalty is over. Maroon picks up the puck for St. Louis. Under 7 to play in the second period. Now it is Dunn with a shot, knocked down by Bishop. Battle for the puck in the corner. Coming over is Hintz, and he will work it ahead to Klingberg, followed up by Thomas, and then Klingberg clears the puck down ice. St. Louis 0 for 2 on the power play here in the second period. Sundqvist, his shot, knocked down and covered by Bishop.
Barbashev that went to the blue paint. You're told and taught, play till you hear a whistle. There was no whistle. Went looking for a second chance opportunity.
Here's a couple of examples of why the Dallas Stars penalty kill is so effective from the Mazda RoboCamp. You see Andrew Cogliano. Time and space, comes over, takes it away. Watch, they keep everything to the outside, get into the lane, come back and help out. Watch 17 and White, they stretch him out. Eventually he's going to get in the lane, no point shot. There he is with an aggressive stick. They're ready to jump. Pucks are going to come out of the zone. They take away the passing lanes, the shooting lanes. Stick positioning perfect, body positioning's perfect. And Jim Montgomery, Stu Barnes, and Rick Bowness deserve a lot of credit for that penalty kill.
Tremendous add to their coaching staff.
Zuccarello finds the puck, sends in behind the St. Louis goal. Binnington will leave it there. Seguin keeps it alive along the boards for Radulov. Radulov tries to come out in front. Puck knocked off his stick. Zuccarello directed back out. Jump by Pollock, did not make it through.
Nice poke check there from Binnington as Radulov did a great job. A power move from below the goal line. He's tried that type of power move here a couple of times in Game 7. And Binnington's been able to stand tall.
Puck intercepted by Hintz. Flips it back along. Under 6 minutes remaining in period 2. Both goals coming in the first period. Done for St. Louis. Then Zuccarello. Hintz keeps the puck alive. Stick checked away by O'Reilly. Play will backhand out. Waiting for it is Lovejoy. Backhanded along by Dowling. Binnington settles it down. Finds Bouwmeester. The Blues have iced it. Parayko carries the puck out. Backhands along. Klingberg back on it for Dallas.
Dallas re-engaging their top line with Benn, Seguin, and Radulov. We haven't seen that a lot here in Game 7.
Radulov in across the line. Leaned on by Barbashev. They both fall to the ice.
Able to do that with the TV timeout right around the corner.
Now Pietrangelo bothered by Cogliano. Finds Barbashev. Lundqvist was knocked down.
Did a nice job there of getting back to his feet and able to get that puck and get it forward, get it into the zone. And now Dallas is going to end up icing the puck.
Face off control by the Blues. Vince Dunn with the puck. In behind the net, Schwartz. James Schwartz, stick handling, drops it off to Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo defended by Cogliano. Now out for Dunn, who shoots, deflected wide. Schwartz with the puck. Schwartz turns, throws it off the side of the net. Kept alive by Dunn. Dunn, left circle shot, tough save by Bishop, and then it drops down to his right. Kept alive by Dunn.
That was a great save by Bishop off of Dunn. Maybe Shen got a second chance after that.
Remember, these Stars players are tired. They were on prior to the icing. 3 go to the bench. Now a fourth and Radulov. Cogliano drops it off. Lovejoy moves the puck into the corner. Dunn slaps it up the boards. And now it is Schwartz. Under 4 to play in period 2, Game 7 in St. Louis. Dickinson up the boards and out. Gunnarsson controls for the Blues.
Dangerous play there, putting that puck through the middle of the ice in your own zone.
Now Edmondson, stick checked away by Foxa. Gunnarsson over to play the puck. Up the middle for Pat Maroon. Now Tyler Bozak in deep. Bozak. Lovejoy goes awkwardly into the boards. Bishop reaches back, covers the puck.
Take a look at that chance again from Vince Dunn. This is a really good save. He had net front presence by Shen in front of the net. Bishop with the glove save. I saw the second chance from Shen. I thought Bishop made the save, but there clearly a great look by our crew. Goes off the skate of Seguin. There's a heck of a sequence there for the Blues, and Bishop standing tall.
Blues control, shot by Perron, misses the net. Radulov clears the puck out. Parayko took it away from Benn.
Wow, 6'6", being able to do that. He looks like Denny Savard, Eddie, when you played in Chicago.
Heck of a job by Jamie Benn there to stay with Parayko and not allow him any more time and space.
Now Perron back out, shot by Parayko. Stick aside by Bishop, who is involved, tangled up with Sammy Blais. Comes back to Parayko. Now Blais with the puck. In behind to O'Reilly. O'Reilly had it stripped by Hintz. He lost the puck. Comes out in front. Perron with a shot. That is turned aside by Bishop and then cleared out by Benn.
With a little help from Roope Hintz.
The shots here in the second period now 14-1 in favor of St. Louis.
Oh, what a stop again by Bishop.
Now Dickinson cut off by Pietrangelo. Edmondson moves it up the middle, deflected along by Thomas. Settled down by Bishop. 2 minutes remaining in the period. Comes out to the right point. Pietrangelo with a shot, and Thomas could not control the rebound. Would have had an empty net to shoot at.
Right between his legs.
Now it is Dickinson. Cross-ice pass behind Seguin. Back the other way come the Blues, but the pass from Bozak could not be handled by Thomas. Sent back the other way by Dickinson.
That's where Dickinson just got to fire the puck at the net. You talked about the shots. The players on the bench know what the coaches are telling them. Just get the puck to the net. It's not a time to try to get too cute.
Puck off the stick of Zuccarello, handled by Maroon. Into the Dallas zone. Out Maroon, still with it, moves to his left. Sends it around behind. Thomas, met by Zuccarello. Bozak works it out to the point. Blues keep it alive, and now Zuccarello on the puck behind the Dallas goal.
Blues forwards all went for a change. That's all right. There was no pressure on Zuccarello.
Fox, a good job on the forecheck, and he was spun to the ice. Final minute, second period. Schwartz across. Tarasenko dropping it off for Shen. Shen with a shot, and that's gloved. Bishop makes another stop. 53 3/10 seconds remaining in period 2.
Offense from the Blues. That was that rebound that went right between the legs of Robert Thomas. Turnover by Hintz. The save by Bishop on Perron. Help from Radulov. And then Perron again. Beautiful redirect by Play. And then a little cut and drop. And then Shen going short side. And yeah, the big trapper of Bishop. Grabbing that one out of midair.
Parayko with a drive, another stop.
Remember Colton Parayko's shot in Game 6 off the left collarbone. This time Parayko's going to blast it right by Jamie Benn. Doesn't get it up nearly as high, but Ben Bishop never flinches. He stares that thing right into the breadbasket.
Well, here's that opportunity. That shot, look at Robert Thomas. Wide open. And the puck goes right between his legs. You can see his reaction there. Like, he knew exactly what was right before him. No puck clock there for 18 Blue.
Now Sagan in a race with Bouwmeester, no icing.
Good hustle there from Sagan.
Parayko on the puck for St. Louis. Up the boards and down. 35 seconds on the clock. Blues have iced it. So Sagan eliminates an icing. And now an offensive zone draw for the Stars following a St. Louis icing call. Sagan and Shen on the draw. Lose control, Parayko. Down to 30 seconds. Schwartz looks to poke it around Heiskanen, who could not. Zuccarello back down. And now the Stars have iced the puck with 21 and 5/10 seconds remaining in period 2. Radulov skates the puck out. Poked away momentarily by Edmondson. Now down into the St. Louis zone, retrieved by Pietrangelo. 10 seconds. Picked off by Hintz. Now O'Reilly, 2 seconds. Blues offside. They have only one shot on Bennington the entire period.
They turned down at least 3 or 4 in this second period, Kenny, where they had a chance to shoot the puck at the net and maybe create a second or third chance look off of just simple play of getting pucks and people to the net. Heck of a job by the goaltender Bishop, by the way. He gives his team an opportunity to go to the third period dead even in Game 7, Kenny.
Game 7 in St. Louis, tied at 1. Before we begin the third period, we go inside the glass with Pierre.
Kenny, a big 2 moments in the second period. 2 power play opportunities for the St. Louis Blues. Big reason why they're not capitalizing. Watch how the Dallas Stars forwards work and synced up high. They take away slot chances. They play up high. They read and react off one another. They get into the lanes. You see where Bozak is. Fox has got to cover him. You see Polak on. So it's everybody working in unison. Getting in lanes, keeping everything to the outside, basically stagnating the Blues power play opportunities. It's a source of frustration. If you don't score on the power play in a big game, it can really cause some problems. Leonard, perfect penalty killing by the Dallas Stars all postseason. 35 for 37.
Third period underway. Blues have the last 10 shots on goal in the second. Stars have gone 10 full minutes without a shot. Stuff attempt down low, turned aside by Bishop. Rope Hintz chips it down into the St. Louis zone. Bennington moves it up the board. Steen waiting. Now Parayko through the neutral zone and down into the left with Bishop. Gets past Bishop. But Hintz was in good position, and now Heiskanen carries out for Jamie Benn. Deflects the puck along as both teams make changes. Opening opening minute, third period. Kenny Albert, Eddie Olczyk, Pierre Maguire inside the glass. Winner of this game will advance to the Western Conference Final. Puck backhanded along by Cogliano. Puck deflects off Pietrangelo. Foxa feeds Zuccarello. Back to Foxa. His shot was blocked. Comes down in the near corner for Dickinson. Now Zuccarello, who has the Dallas goal. Deflected back out by Sagan to Esa Lindell. His shot is knocked down by Bennington. Comes back out to the left point. Lindell flips one wide. Schwartz over for St. Louis. Kept in the zone by Zuccarello. And now carried out by Schenn with Tarasenko. Schenn with a shot on the left hand, saved by Bishop. Pollock up the boards. Pietrangelo gathers it in for St. Louis. Pollock waiting. Picked off by Blay. Blay looks to cut around Pollock, who stayed with him. Pollock takes play to the corner boards. Zuccarello with the puck for the Dallas Stars. Sends it hard around. Justin Dowling. And now Colton Parayko. Ryan O'Reilly, cross ice, David Perron. Perron goes sliding into the boards. Puck is underneath the Blues forward. And now a hit by Maroon on Ritchie. Dowling carries out with Spezza. Blocked off of the line, leads to a Dallas offside. Blues control the faceoff. Parayko with the puck. Sends in from the red line. Winds around behind the Dallas goal. Klingberg took a swat at it. Maroon sends it back behind the net. Bishop is on it there. Up the boards, not out. Thomas kept it alive that time. Now flipped out by Heiskanen. The bouncing puck handled by Radulov. Now for Jamie Benn, a shot. And Maroon is over for St. Louis.
That long reach of Parayko did not allow Ben to extend those arms, looking for a chance from about 40 feet out. Nice here play from Radulov, but look at Parayko. And that's how you do it. One hand on the stick, take away that space. You get a shot block as well. Outstanding defense there from Parayko.
Can't say enough about what Larry Robinson, the Hockey Hall of Famer, has brought in terms of a consultant for the defense to the St. Louis Blues. The fundamentals of this defense have been outstanding. Larry's been a big part of it.
It was like that even when they were having a tough time early in the season. Everybody has a hand in it regardless of the situation.
Now Sagan looks to throw it in front. Pietrangelo blocked it off. Schenn up the boards. Stars keep the puck in the St. Louis zone, and now it's carried out by Schenn. Schenn, right circle, cutting wide on Lindell. Holds. Now centers, picked off by Zuccarello. Kept alive by Edmondson for Schenn. Schenn for Tarasenko. Looks to cut to the slot, but he was surrounded by Dallas Stars. And then reaching out to clear was Sagan. Stars have iced it. Off the draw, shot by Perron, turned aside by Bishop. Puck knocked to the boards by Lindell and then sent down by Dickinson. Retrieved by Dunn. Stars make a change following the icing. Now Perron. Como stick handling with it. Backhands along. He was knocked to the ice. Play continues.
Dallas still looking for their first power play here in Game 7. St. Louis has had a couple after Como got upended. About 15 of the players on the Stars bench all looking at the official wanting a call.
4 minutes in, third period. Tied at 1. Dunn and Zuccarello, the goal scorers. Puck backhanded along by Sundqvist to the right of Bishop. Bishop to Klingberg. He fires the puck around. Pietrangelo sends in behind the net. Klingberg looking for it. Stepped into by Steen. Now Edmondson steps up for the Blues. Klingberg up the boards. Barbashev stepped into by Ritchie. Puck held in at the line by Sundqvist. Barbashev and Klingberg. Now Sundqvist comes in, hit by Foxa. Thomas over for St. Louis. Thomas with a shot. That deflects back behind the net. And then Sundqvist finds Pietrangelo, who sends it high and wide. Edmondson on goal. Puck loose. Now Thomas has it. Back out for a shot by Edmondson. That missed the net. Blues firing away on Bishop. Thomas keeps the puck alive for St. Louis. Fans on their feet here at the Pride Center. Finally, the puck is cleared by Jason Spezza. No ice icing. Shots now 31-15. St. Louis 21-2 since the end of the first period. Now Ben in behind the St. Louis net. It's Parayko. Down into the Dallas zone. No icing. Maroon takes Lovejoy to the boards. Heiskanen with the puck. Miro Heiskanen through the neutral zone for Hintz. Tries to split the defense. Rope Hintz in behind the St. Louis net. Wrapped up by Parayko. Puck sent to the far boards. Bouwmeester is on it for the Blues. Bouwmeester into the Dallas zone. That shot was blocked by Polak.
What a pass there. Heiskanen and Hintz just unfortunately couldn't corral that puck and lost it into the corner.
Now Maroon looking for it. Spun around by Sagan. Knocked in deep by Zuccarello. Bouwmeester for Gunnarsson. And now Tarasenko off his stick. Lindell. And then Tarasenko once again. Here comes Schwartz with a shot. That missed the net to the left. Under 14 minutes remaining in regulation. What action here in St. Louis. Game 7 tied at 1. Here comes Schwartz down the right side. Cut off by Lindell. Tarasenko to the puck. And now Dickinson clears it up the left side for Como. And then Faksa moves it the rest of the way. Parayko looking around. Now to Braden Shen. Tarasenko. 3 stars get back. Now Fedun winds it around to Lovejoy. Third defense pair on the ice for Dallas. Bouncing puck, Dunn sends it back into the star zone. Handled by Fedun. And then across to Lovejoy. Up the right side, deflected along by Como. Here comes Justin Dowling. Looks to gain a step on Perron. Puck comes around to the near side. Ryan O'Reilly is on it for St. Louis. Under 13 to play. Sammy Blais along with Heiskanen. Looking to get it out was O'Reilly to Perron. Here comes Spezza. Spezza with Ritchie. In on goal, Binnington flips it up the boards. Blais open for the Blues, and he moves the puck down ice. It hits a glove, so no icing. Both teams make partial changes. Klingberg with the puck for Dallas. 12 and a half to play in regulation. Here comes Jamie Benn, motoring down the left wing. Benn with a shot, that was blocked by Parayko.
It was the stick of Ben Lovejoy sitting on the bench. Had his gloves up on the dasher, and one of them fell, and it might have been icing against St. Louis.
Now Thomas flips it across. Bouwmeester to the puck. Around behind to Maroon. Battling with Klingberg, who knocks the puck away. Radulov over. And now Klingberg controls. Circles it back, and then poked away by Thomas. Heiskanen on the recovery for Dallas. Dickinson takes a hard hit from Barbashev. Here comes Sagan. Puck deflected along by Barbashev on goal, covered up by Bishop.
Well, Jordan Binnington's only had 2 shots here in the last 28 half minutes or so. And Ben Bishop's had 22 shots. And when you find goaltenders that are in a zone, and I know Binnington's only seen those 2 shots, as an offensive player, you got to hold on to that puck a second longer because they know what you're going to do before you do it. So patience with the puck if you get a clear-cut chance on either one of these guys.
Blues with the puck in the offensive zone. Maroon flipping in behind for Tyler Bozak. Bozak stick handling, now leaves it for Thomas. Now Maroon once again. Scored the game winner in game 3. Net by Lindell, who takes the puck away.
There was Dunn, the defenseman, below the goal line again. We've seen that 5, 6, 7 times so far in this game. Blues defenseman very active in the offensive zone.
Now Bozak. Bozak out in front, and a save by Bishop on Thomas.
Boy, has he been good, Thomas. Bishop, we know, has been great. Thomas has had a really, really strong game.
In all 3 zones, good work below the goal line. The quick little play, good defense there from Lindell. And now Thomas recognizing. Find some ice, get to the blue paint, force the goaltender to make a stop.
That's the identity of that line. They've been great all series long. When you think about Maroon, Bozak, and Thomas, Thomas's speed gets engaged. Maroon's board play gets engaged. And the brain power of Bozak is always engaged. It's a fantastic line to watch.
Top line on the ice for St. Louis. Shen, Schwartz, Tarasenko. Stars clear the zone. Gathered in by Bouwmeester. Ben with Hinch and Radulov for the Stars.
Who has the ability to be able to make a play for Dallas to spend some time down here? Because the puck has been in their zone pretty much for the last 30 minutes of this game.
Stars have iced the puck.
And for the Blues, they want to stay with it. They can't get down. Yeah, they've had some great chances the last little while, but just stay with the way you're playing.
Puck carried out and then shot in by Radulov. Binnington around to Bouwmeester. 10.5 to play in regulation. Here comes Jaden Schwartz. Turtles, waits, across now to Parayko, who shoots, it gets behind Bishop, and then he gathers it in.
That all started in the neutral zone. Jaden Schwartz from his skate to his stick. Eventually you're going to see a cross-ice pass and the shot by Parayko. Schwartz going to pull up. Guys are going to go to the net. Parayko's going to get it. He's not going to waste any time trying to get it on goal. It should be a routine save, but a shot on goal is never a bad thing. And Ben Bishop fortunate there was nobody around to find that loose puck, Eddie.
Yeah, finds a 7-hole right under the armpit of Ben Bishop, and do think that shot was off target just a bit. Good idea there from Parayko. Usually see the big heavy slapper from the back end, but there he just wrists it at the net.
Blues win the draw. Pietrangelo for Perron. Stepping in front of Thomas was Lindell. Lindell moves the puck out. Knocked out at center by Edmondson. Here comes Sagan, but the Stars offside.
Yeah, Dickinson was offside, battling with Edmondson.
Face-off control by the Blues. Edmondson with the puck. Now Perron around Sagan and across the line. Perron with a shot that's blocked. Deflects to the netting. It's been a busy night for Ben Bishop, who grew up here in St. Louis. Friends and family in a suite. His parents are Ben Jr. and Cindy. His dad owns a construction company and a restaurant, Bishop's Post. They're in the St. Louis area. And he recalls coming to Blues games and rooting against the opposing goaltenders in the postseason. Here is a shot missing the net off the stick of Gunnarsson.
This all started because of the giveaway by Klingberg.
New line here. Goes Sammy Blais. Robert Thomas on the line with O'Reilly and Perron.
Here comes Faksa. Now Klingberg, defended by Dunn. Klingberg pulls it back out. Klingberg still with the puck. Around behind for Blake Como. Defended by Ryan O'Reilly. O'Reilly flips the puck ahead. Thomas forcing it out to center.
Greg Berube saying what we've been seeing up top here. Thomas has had an outstanding night to this point. First 50 minutes of this game 7.
Absolutely.
Now Perron up the boards. Deflected along by Steen for Sundqvist. Klingberg is back. Shot by Sundqvist from a tough angle is handled by Bishop.
Quick little shot of the stick there with Bishop and Steen, as Steen goes right to the blue paint. You're the St. Louis Blues. You just want to continue this. You're quicker right now. There are lanes to the puck. Steen is going to come into the picture. Quick little push. And then the stick by Bishop into the backside of Alex Steen. The message on that Blues bench, and look, just stay with it. Don't try to get too cute. The lane is there. Get it there and get some people there as well.
Puck comes out in front. Dickinson on it for the Stars. Now Pietrangelo, bouncing puck, pressured by Zuccarello, carried across by Sagan, stripped from behind by Schwartz. Now Tarasenko, under 9 minutes remaining. Pass across for Schwartz, but the Blues offside.
Wow, what a stretch by Braden Shen to try to get back on side. He tried his tail off to get on side. Tarasenko's going to look to stop the pop and then watch Shen. He kind of does a splits trying to get back. Come on, I'm getting there.
Neutral zone draw in a 1-1 game. Radulov blocked off by Parayko. Parayko steps up with the puck. Now to Maroon. Winds it around. Bozak waiting. Back the other way to Pat Maroon. Now Thomas pressed to the boards by Lovejoy. Puck squirts free. Radulov over for Dallas. And he will lift it out. Knocked down by Jamie Benn. 8:15 remaining. Shot since the start of the second period. Blues with 25. Stars only 2. Both teams make changes. Game 7. Tied at 1. Both goals coming in the first. Dunn and Zuccarello. Here comes O'Reilly. O'Reilly defended by Klingberg. Now to David Perron. Perron to the left circle. Couple of nice moves. Throws it across. Bishop able to cover.
Goes off the skate of Tyler Fedun.
Well, David Perron had a chance to shoot the puck, and then he pulled into his backhand and looking for Ryan O'Reilly. Beautiful move here. He's got a chance to shoot that puck, but he throws it on his backhand. And Bishop just tracks this thing beautifully down, follows it, slows up a bit, and then the glove absorbs it. Maybe get a bounty deal out of there. The quicker picker up there. Good job there from Bishop. Nice play there for Perron.
Puck came out of the zone. Faksa back on it for Dallas. Now Lindell. 7.5 to play in regulation. Puck deflected in by Como. Como takes Dunhart to the boards. Sammy Blais with the puck. Knocked out of the air by Faksa. Kept alive by Polak. Now Blais and Cogliano. It will be cleared across onto the stick of Perron. Perron now for Sundqvist, a shot. That's knocked back behind the net by Bishop.
They lost him in cover. He was coming off the bench.
Parayko fires wide. Puck comes all the way around and down to Pietrangelo just off the bench. Here's Barbashev. Under 7 minutes remaining. Game 7, tied at 1. Edmondson in deep for Sundqvist. Now Barbashev in front for Steve. And Heiskanen is able to backhand the puck down.
Good defense there from Tyler Seguin.
Dickinson taken away by Pietrangelo. Edmondson with the puck. Zuccarello looking to play it. Sundqvist with it for the Blues. Down into the Dallas zone, it is Klingberg. And then across to Lovejoy. Jamie Benn couldn't control just off the bench. Klingberg with 6:20 to play. Thomason on the forecheck. Klingberg up the left side for Jamie Benn. Whacked out by Parayko. Benn continues along with the puck. Benn slides it across, kept away from Klingberg. Now Radulov hustling over. Radulov for Polak. Backhands in deep. Away from Hintz. Klingberg now works it back around. Puck comes out of the zone, and Polak is on it for the Stars.
I know a lot didn't happen there on that shift for Dallas, but it's a building point. It's a building block there. Not a lot of sustained pressure for the Dallas Stars the last 35 minutes of this game.
Here comes Lindell cutting wide, blocked off by Dunn. And now Dunn will move the puck ahead for Tarasenko. Now near Tarasenko, down the left side, cutting wide on Lovejoy. Bouncing puck. Cogliano settles it down. And he clears it ahead for Como. Now the return, they crisscross. Cogliano down the left side. Puts one on goal. From a tough angle, that's covered up by Jordan Binnington.
And the Blues have had a boatload of chances, but the Dallas Stars are one shot away from having a lead.
Bishop has stopped the last 32 St. Louis shots. Jamie Benn with 5 minutes remaining in regulation. Final 5 presented by Rocket Mortgage in a 1-1 game. Game 7 in St. Louis. The winner moves on to the West Final. Binnington waiting. Moves it around. Jaden Schwartz. Kept in the zone by Zuccarello. And now Bouwmeester finds Tarasenko. Tarasenko leaned on by Lindell. Zuccarello comes in. Now Schwartz on it for the Blues. Then Schenn. Schenn with a shot. Through a screen, the save made by Bishop. He covered.
Oh, this was really a tremendous save here by Ben Bishop. Watch Jaden Schwartz, left part of your screen, 17 in blue, right there. Watch where he goes after this play develops. He goes right to the front of the net. Bishop is down, and he's able to find this puck.
Braden Schenn was looking him off, too. You see, he was looking to distribute. He just threw that on net. Great save by Bishop and no rebound.
Boy, lots of room up top. And again, both goaltenders will play the percentages of going down and taking away the bottom of the net. Lots of room up top.
Stars with the puck at Heiskanen. Maroon lost the stick back behind the play. Now retrieves it. Blues shoot back down. Lovejoy on the puck for Dallas. Sent along by Heiskanen for Cogliano. And now Ben Lovejoy leading the rush. 4 minutes to go. Cogliano and Maroon come together. Puck cleared out by Robert Thomas. Now Maroon for Thomas and across the Dallas line. Thomas stick handling, keeps it away from Lovejoy. Out to the point it comes. Done with a shot. Bishop the save. Puck loose to his right. He covers.
You had Bozak down low. You had Thomas down low. You had Maroon down low. Good job by Dunn getting the puck to the net. You had all kinds of stuff going on that was positive for St. Louis right there. Bishop, you see the skate from Bozak, the left skate to the stick. And Ben Bishop says, I'm not giving Maroon a chance to swat away at it.
Seguin and Schenn to the right of Bishop. Controlled by the Blues, Goldmeister. Now Perron. Perron with it again, and then it was taken away by Dickinson. Dickinson with Ben and Seguin. Puck lifted along. Bennington behind his goal. Comes to Dickinson. And now O'Reilly. Out to center, it's Seguin. Spins away from Sundqvist. Across to Heiskanen. 3:10 remaining in regulation. Getting Albert. Eddie Olczyk. Pierre Maguire inside the glass. Here in St. Louis, Game 7. Gathered in by Klingberg. Around it comes to Heiskanen. Both teams make changes. Big hit by Sundqvist on Heiskanen. And now Heiskanen recovers after Schwartz went head first to the boards. Zuccarello deflects it along. Here comes Hintz. Hintz drops it off. Zuccarello across, and Radulov could not get it to the net.
Little help there from Edmondson. Wow, what a chance there for Zuccarello to shoot the puck. Edmondson, I believe, Kenny, from our vantage point, tipped that puck.
Now it is Tarasenko to the net. Bishop looking for the puck. It's loose. No whistle. No whistle yet. Now loose behind the net. Faksa has it. Up the boards and out.
Outstanding job there by referee Chris Rooney to find that puck and let play continue.
Sent back in on Bishop. 2:10 remaining, and now he covers.
Tarasenko one-on-one with Esa Lindell. The power, the force, the drive to the net. The puck is loose. Chris Rooney sees it loose. Fox is trying to push it into his goalie. You see Pietrangelo come in to keep it loose, keep the play alive. What action.
And I watch this opportunity. Look at Zuccarello. He's going to get this puck, shoot that puck, but he goes over. No, I don't think Edmondson got a piece of it. From my vantage point, I thought he got a stick. Just an errant pass, maybe a little bit too hard, not in the wheelhouse.
Stars control. Lindell moves it ahead. Cleared down by Como. Gunnarsson moves it back the other way. Sent into the Dallas zone by Bozak. Polak up the right side, deflected by Como. And now Cogliano. A minute 45 remaining in regulation. Game 7, tied at 1. And O'Reilly battle. O'Reilly slides it across for Sundqvist. Moving in on Polak, waiting for teammates. Sends the puck around. Lindell, shouldered by Perron. Puck sent ahead by Polak for Seguin, and now Dickinson. Dickinson into the St. Louis zone. He's met by Parayko. Goldmeister over to play the puck. Down to a minute 15 remaining. Blues have iced it. Perron clears it ahead for Sundqvist. Backhands along. Now Heiskanen. Deflected by Radulov. Picked up by Hintz. Down the left side. Hintz behind the net. Stop attempt. Zuccarello knocked down. And the puck is cleared by Perron. Blues have iced it. 52 seconds remaining.
The speed of Hintz creates this chance. I don't think he ever gets the wraparound on Binnington. Actually hits the side of the net right there. Help from Bouwmeester, and then there you see Zuccarello going for this loose puck. The puck is loose, and there he gets taken down by Schwartz. Easily could have been a penalty. A heck of a play by Schwartz. And Zuccarello's eyes must have lit up pretty big there, Kenny, at a wide open net with Binnington down and out.
Seguin wins the draw. Back to Klingberg. Klingberg to the far side. Backhanded around by Dickinson for Seguin. Puck taken St. Louis. Klingberg for Dickinson. Dickinson to Seguin. Seguin fires wide. Puck comes all the way around. And now Lindell with 20 seconds. Klingberg up the middle. Ben softly on goal.
Nice idea.
Bennington forced to knock it aside. Now Maroon. 7 seconds remaining. That's Lindell with the puck. Game 7 headed to overtime. Next wins.
4 shots on goal the last 40 minutes. The last one for the Dallas Stars. Look at this play. Heck of a play here by Jamie Benn, forcing Binnington to make a stop on a bouncing puck.
Blues with victories in 68 and 72. North Stars 4-3 over the Blues at 84 on a Steve Pate goal. That's the only Game 7 overtime win in the history of the Stars franchise. There we go. Winner advances to the Western Conference Final. Lovejoy winds the puck around. Heiskanen up the boards. Hintz unable to clear. Now Heiskanen once again for Dallas. Both goals in this game scored back in the first period. Dunn and Zuccarello. Shots are 41-17 St. Louis. Puck deflected in by Radulov. Binnington waiting. Stars make a quick change. Parayko up the right side. Tarasenko in across the line. Tarasenko has his shot blocked by Lindell. Puck comes to Schwartz. Drops it off, and a save by Bishop with the glove on Brayden Schenn. Tarasenko's shot was blocked after the face-off win by Schenn.
Gonna change before you're tired.
Lindell with the puck for Dallas. Backhanded in by Como. Knocked out of the air by Dunn. He kept it away from Cogliano. Now it is Schwartz. Schwartz, first man in, leaned on by Klingberg. Now Schenn, coming out from the far corner. Schenn leaves it for Schwartz, knocked off his stick by Klingberg. Como controls for the Stars. And then it's knocked out of the air by Schenn. Into the right of Bishop. Now the Blues make a change. Overtime in St. Louis, Game 7. Pressure by O'Reilly. Now Dickinson over for Dallas. O'Reilly takes the puck away. O'Reilly looking for it. O'Reilly drops it off. Perron moves it out to the right point. Pietrangelo is out of there. Lindell cuts off the puck. Kept alive by Perron. Now Pietrangelo with room. He shoots, kicked out by the right pad of Bishop. Now Lindell bangs it up the boards and out.
Klingberg and Lindell are out of gas, but they're going to get an opportunity to refuel and get off the ice. Alex Pietrangelo does a nice job of walking the line, getting this quick little shot and a beautiful save again by Ben Bishop. The Jay Bouwmeester, the defenseman, looking for a second chance opportunity.
Shows you how aggressive St. Louis is and has been all night long. Their defensemen are right on top of the opposition crease.
Seguin, Ben, Radulov on the ice for Dallas. Against the Blues' fourth line. Radulov moves the puck back to Pollock and then across to Heiskanen. Deflected by Ben, deep into the St. Louis zone. Ben chasing with Sundqvist. They cancel one another out. Parayko over to play the puck for the Blues. Moves it up the boards and out past Pollock. Radulov takes a hit from Barbashev. They've been battling all night long. Now Parayko picks it up from Binnington. Radulov keeps it in the zone. Now Parayko and Ben. Ben Bouwmeester. Puck held in by Foxen of Dallas. Now Radulov looking for the puck. Held up by Bouwmeester, Sundqvist, and Foxa. Parayko up the left side and out. Foxa back to the St. Louis line. Bouwmeester and Como come together. Puck in the skates of Como. Moves it along behind the net for Cogliano. Cogliano, tough angle attempt. That's turned aside by Binnington.
That's a fatigue factor that he was talking about. Parayko and Bouwmeester out of gas.
They are both still out on the ice. Como knocked down. Barbashev pulls the puck out. Lovejoy on it for Dallas. Quickly ahead to Como. Como waiting for teammates. They were in the midst of a change, and Faksa offside before he got to the bench. Laid offside St. Louis. Klingberg with the puck. Klingberg and Heiskanen on the ice together for Dallas. Puck sent in deep by Hintz. Stopped behind the net by Binnington for Edmondson. Around it comes to the left point. Heiskanen now to Zuccarello. Down low for Dickinson. Klingberg was calling for the puck. His shot was blocked. Now Dickinson has it. Dickinson shoots, and that's gloved by Binnington.
So far, both chances for the Dallas Stars have started like this. Remember the Cogliano chance a little bit earlier? Circling around, Klingberg jumping in, couple of Blues collide, and Binnington's able to catch that puck and not give up a second chance opportunity.
Round one for the Stars. Puck sent ahead by Schenn for Tarasenko. Into the Dallas zone, down the right side. Tarasenko with a shot, that was blocked. Puck kept away from Schwartz by Klingberg. Tarasenko next man to it. Now Spezza will settle it down. Out with pass for Ritchie. Ritchie with a shot, that's sticked aside by Binnington. Puck picked up by Schenn with Schwartz and Tarasenko. Schenn misses the net high and wide. Puck caroms around, Blues were changing. Here comes Radulov. Radulov drops it off. Klingberg moves it and shoots. Puck down behind the net. Pietrangelo over for St. Louis. He clears the zone. It's gathered in by Klingberg.
What a chance there. Klingberg jumping in on that second wave, and Binnington denies the defenseman from the Stars.
And now the Stars have iced it.
Boy, what a chance.
Long change, long change in overtime. Left part of your screen, Klingberg wants this puck. Beautiful pass from Radulov. Here comes Klingberg, and a stop by the blocker with Benn right in the grill of Jamie Benn.
Just square. Never cheats on the play. Outstanding response. Great play by Binnington.
Puck along the boards, Perron. Perron met by Lindell. Still with it. Perron for O'Reilly. He misses the net. Now Blais over to play the puck. In deep to O'Reilly. Back out to the right point, Pietrangelo. Fakes a shot. Now O'Reilly, right wing circle. Leaving it for Pietrangelo. Pietrangelo out in front of the save by Bishop on Edmondson. Now Blais with the puck across the crease. Here's O'Reilly. Back out. Pietrangelo fires. Another save by Bishop. Radulov moves it ahead. Here comes Benn. As Seguin cutting to the net. Benn holds. Now shoots. Kicked out. And then Benn had the rebound knocked away. Chances at both ends. And now an offside.
Chances at either end. Jamie Benn. Shot, save, second chance, great stick from Pietrangelo. And watch the interchange here from O'Reilly and Pietrangelo. Miscommunication, Lindell, Benn, they think they're going to switch, it doesn't happen. And he finds Edmondson, that's a D to D. That's a defenseman to defenseman. And Bishop again with a great save.
Game 7, overtime. St. Louis, Dallas. Tied at 1. Fox into the puck for the Stars. Bozak tied up by Cogliano. Puck kept alive by Faksa. Now Como kicks it along. Cleared out by Gunnarsson. Gathered in by Heiskanen. Now Dunn, who has the St. Louis goal for Bozak. Faksa knocks it down with his glove.
Puck went off the line for Greg Dvorsky.
Bozak couldn't control. Como too far for Cogliano. Stars will make a change. Gunnarsson up the left side to Maroon. Zuccarello clears the puck out. Now Dickinson deep into the St. Louis zone. Edmondson back to play it. Now Dunn. Hintz falls to the ice. Puck carried out by Sundqvist to Barbashev. Pollock kept the puck away from Sundqvist. Now Sundqvist with it again. Shoots, saved by Bishop. Puck is loose, bouncing, and the Stars come away with it. Pollock leading the rush on the left side for Dickinson. Binnington behind his net, up the glass. Nice pass ahead to Barbashev, who sends it out. Seguin directs the puck in deep. Binnington to the far side, Pietrangelo. up the boards, and now it is Steen. Braden Shen and across the line. Stars regain control. Here they come. Radulov with Ben. Offside. Dallas.
Advance it. See somebody in the same sweater, color sweater at Hediot. Get it to him.
Here's Shen. Moves the puck to the opposite corner. Lindell is on it there. Now Tarasenko. Defended by Dowling. Shen with the puck. Braden Shen out to the right point. Frangelo. Wrist one in behind the Dallas goal. Puck comes around. Lindell and Schwartz. Battle for the puck along the boards. Now Schwartz comes in. Tarasenko works it free. Tarasenko shouldered by Lovejoy. They continue to battle. In overtime, game 7 tied at 1. Stars move the puck down, no icing.
Heck of a job there from Ben Lovejoy to win that battle.
Vince Dunn up the left wing. Perron blocked off at the line. Good job by Klingberg. Now Perron gets it to Shen. Shen moving in. Shoots a glove save by Bishop.
Boy, Shen had to fight, not only fight off the back pressure, but he also had to avoid the stick of John Klingberg. Watch this play develop. The battle along the boards. There's 3 white. Here comes Shen. Watch the stick of Klingberg right there. He gets knocked out of his hand. Braden Shen with a outstanding game 7 here, doing a lot of the dirty work. That
48 shots for St. Louis, 7 in overtime. Bishop has stopped the last 43. Heiskanen with the puck for Dallas. Dickinson tied up by Blay. Blay takes the puck away. Now Bouwmeester across to Parayko. The return to Bouwmeester. Shoots in from the red line. Winds around behind Bishop. Puck comes to play. Put together through to O'Reilly. From his knees he does. O'Reilly with a shot. Another save by Bishop on shot number 49 by the St. Louis Blues.
They're not passing up opportunities. We saw Sundqvist with a short side opportunity. Bouwmeester with the hard drive around. Blaze strong on his stick. O'Reilly's going to take the puck. Blaze going to keep it alive, and then O'Reilly not wasting any time. How about Justin Williams against Washington in overtime? Throw it from a bad angle. You never know what can happen. Then Bishop said no rebound.
Maroon with the puck. Leaves it for Thomas. Thomas towards the net. Puck knocked into the corner. Played by Cogliano. Cogliano through the neutral zone. Down the left wing with a shot through the crease wide. Puck sent back in by Faksa. Edmondson retrieves. Up the left wing, Maroon wants to cut away from Klingberg. But down to the puck. Now Faksa. Holder on the right, Klingberg. Poked away by the long stick of Bouwmeester and then sent back down by Jamie Benn. 50 shots for St. Louis. Dallas with 22. We've played 9.5 minutes in overtime. Game 7 tied at 1. Parayko, long pass up the left side for Steen. Steen waiting for teammates. Sundqvist chasing. Lovejoy there. Barbashev as well. Puck knocked into the corner by Sagan and lifted out by Fadou. Here comes Tyler Sagan in across the line. Pass on the right side. Picked off by Steen.
Sagan thought that Ben was going to stay home there and just ended up throwing it to nobody because his line mate was making a change.
Shen calling for the puck. Got it from Steen. Sent it back out on the block by Hintz. On that attempt by Dunn. Dunn with it again. Cross-side save by Bishop. And Shen back out to Pietrangelo. And then into the corner for Schwartz. Defended by Fadou. Jaden Schwartz back out to Vince Dunn. Dunn. And Zuccarello. And Zuccarello plays the puck. Sends it up the middle. Here comes Dickinson with Fadou. Dickinson moves to his right. Taken to the boards by Schwartz. Faksa and Dunn. And now Zuccarello. Puck comes to O'Reilly. Up the boards looking for a breaking Tarasenko. He was held up by Lindell. Now Tarasenko tries to center. That was kept away from O'Reilly. Puck skated ahead by Dickinson. 3 Blues get back. Edmondson lined up by Como. O'Reilly to the puck. We played 11 minutes in overtime. Tied at 1. Game 7 in St. Louis. Here's play. Cross ice. O'Reilly. O'Reilly down the right side on Lindell. Throws in the corner. Drops it off for Edmondson. His shot misses the net. Comes out to Gunnarsson at the left point. Throws the puck in behind for Blay. Sammy Blais, defended by Lindell and Polak. Back out it comes. Edmondson with a shot that deflects wide. Blues keep it alive. It's Bozak. Now Perron. Perron looked to feed the right point, but the Blues were making a change.
Yeah, Edmondson was going off. Bouwmeester was jumping on.
Bouwmeester back to pick up the puck from Bennington. Quickly up the left side to Bozak. Tyler Bozak drops it off to Robert Thomas. Thomas battling with Heiskanen. In deep to Maroon, the St. Louis native. Maroon keeps it away from Klingberg. Out to the point it comes. Parayko's shot blocked by Ben. Deflects to the netting. A career-high 50 saves for Ben Bishop. He has stopped the last 45 St. Louis Blues shots. His mom, Cindy?
Yeah, can't even imagine. We all know that hockey moms are the greatest, regardless of the position, but especially moms whose sons or daughters are goaltenders at the highest level. His mom's got to be awfully proud of the way her son has played to this point in their hometown.
Puck comes to Pietrangelo, across to Edmondson. In behind the net, played there by Maroon. This line's been so effective. Maroon, Bozak, and Thomas for the Blues. Now Thomas over to play the puck. Back, intended for Maroon. He was tied up by Klingberg. Now Maroon with it once again. Maroon back up the boards. Joel Edmondson sends it around behind. Dickinson comes over. And Pietrangelo kept alive by the Blues. It's Thomas. Thomas slides it across, away from Edmondson by the stick of Zuccarello.
Two fresh forwards on the ice for St. Louis. Tired defenseman out there for Dallas right now.
Edmondson keeps it in at the line. Now Maroon, far side. Maroon still with the puck. Leaves it for Tarasenko. Comes away from Lindell. Vladimir Tarasenko out to the point. Bouwmeester towards the net, deflects to the corner. Lindell down for a while.
5 threat players on the ice for the Blues.
Tarasenko! Bishop covers!
That's highway robbery by Ben Bishop. What an opportunity for Schenn. Pressure on the forecheck and the quality chance, and that goes off the backside of John Klingberg. And then Ben Bishop says, I've had enough.
The shot blocked by Klingberg, and then there you see Hintz on top of Bishop. Some ice maintenance going on in a blue paint right now. The home of Ben Bishop here in this overtime.
That was some shift started by the third line of the St. Louis Blues with Robert Thomas, Tyler Bozak, and Patrick Maroon. And as Eddie said, they changed 5 guys, and those line legs created a problem.
Face on to Bishop's right. O'Reilly and Sagan. Ryan O'Reilly to the puck for St. Louis. Tied up by Sagan. Moves it into the corner. Tarasenko now on it for the Blues. Defended by Heiskanen. Radulov comes in. Puck squirts around behind Bishop. Parayko moving in from the point. Colton Parayko for David Perron. Perron up the boards. Bouwmeester. And then across for a shot by Tarasenko. Stick aside by Bishop. Jamie Benn clears the puck down. Stars have iced it.
Ben Bishop actually on that shot, that last shot, he tried to direct that puck into the netting in behind. He wasn't able to get it up high enough. And then Ben iced the puck. Look at Bishop just trying to angle it to get a whistle. Now Ben Bishop's going to buy some time here. Got a problem with the buckle on the mask. And get some help there from referee Mark Gonan.
Greg Berube knows Robert Thomas has got it going on. He's got him on the ice with Schenn and Schwartz.
With Pietrangelo and Dunn. Stars win the draw. Heiskanen up the boards and out. Sagan with the puck. Cross ice, Radulov. Moving in on Dunn. Radulov to the net. Save made by Bennington. The net gets knocked off. Behind Jordan Bennington in the collision with Radulov. Here comes Ray Burley, the trainer.
Radulov's big, he's strong, he's bigger than Dunn. He drives hard to the net, trying to just make a hard play on the goal. He wipes everybody out. He loses balance because Dunn puts a little force on the lower part of his body. That's just a hard play going to the net.
Tied at 1 in overtime. Game 7. Lovejoy lifts the puck around. Tipped by Pietrangelo. Comes to Fox's shot. Stop. Rebound set wide by Cogliano. with the puck. Como back out to Lovejoy. Around behind, Como chasing. Pietrangelo for St. Louis. So the Blues dodge a bullet. Now Schwartz. Schwartz throws in deep for Schenn. Met by Lindell. Coming away with the puck is Como. Como across the line. They stayed onside and a save made by Binnington.
Difficult save there.
Turnaround shot by Fox. Other stop by Binnington. Pietrangelo then clears to center. Heiskanen on it for Dallas. Here's Pollock. Couple of great chances for the Stars.
Some tired defensemen out there for the Blues right now.
Centering pass by Dickinson. Deflects out to the right point. Pollock around behind for Zuccarello. Broken up by Bouwmeester. Pietrangelo sends it ahead to Maroon. Tied up along the boards. And now the Blues able to clear. 5 minutes remaining in overtime number 1. Game 7 in St. Louis. Heiskanen deflected in by Sagan. Binnington will slow it down. Puck sent ahead by O'Reilly. No icing. Klingberg back on it for the Stars. Up the right side to Radulov. Backhands along. O'Reilly will beat Sagan to the puck. Now Parayko over to help out. Both goals back in the first period. Vince Dunn, Mats Zuccarello. Blues have had the only 2 power plays in the game. Shots are 52-26 St. Louis. Puck off the stick of O'Reilly. Bishop out to his left. Waiting. Moves it up the boards. Deflected by Spezza. Kept in by Gunnarsson. Now it hits a stick on the ice behind the Dallas goal. Cleared up the right side for Brett Ritchie. Pass out of the reach of Justin Dowling. Stars have iced it.
Couple of great looks for the Dallas Stars. Radek Faksa with a spin around shot. It's going right in, and the blocker denies. And Andrew Cogliano finds himself all alone in front of the net. And he shoots his puck off the toe of his stick, not the heel, and misses to that strong side on Jordan Binnington.
Schenn and Spezza. Spezza pulls it back. Puck knocked down by Schenn. Schenn to the net, just wide. Puck comes out to the right point. Now Jaden Schwartz with it for St. Louis. For Tarasenko, poke checked away. Schwartz with it again. Bishop without a stick. Bishop's stick is about 20 feet to his right. Puck comes out to Pietrangelo. Blocked by Dowling. Carried out by Ritchie. Bishop retrieves his goal stick as the Stars move the puck down.
That all started because of the giveaway by Fedun in his own zone.
Long pass too far for Bozak. Klingberg. Shouldered by Bozak. Lindell up the left side to Faksa. Now Cogliano, who had that glorious opportunity moments ago. Cogliano holds and then gets blocked by Edmondson. Sundqvist looking for the puck. Around to the near side for Gunnarsson. Carried out by Steen. Here comes Bozak. Sundqvist on his right. Bozak slides it across. Sundqvist was tied up by Lindell. Zuccarello back the other way. Here's Cogliano with Zuccarello. Zuccarello chasing along with Bouwmeester. Now Bozak comes in. Hintz as well. Under 3 minutes remaining in overtime number 1. Perron moves the puck down into the Dallas zone. Retrieved by Roman Pollock. Shots 52-26 St. Louis in a 1-1 game. Puck deflected in by Radulov to the right of Binnington. Played by Bouwmeester. Up the left side and down. Out of play. 2:27 on the clock. Overtime number 1.
One of Ben Bishop's calling card, his reach and his stick on wraparound. You see him on the wraparound right there. The stick comes out because of the pressure of Tarasenko, and he's playing without his stick for a good long while before the Dallas Stars were able to get that puck up and out of the zone.
Klingberg with a drive, that misses the net. Now Radulov out in front, knocked to the boards by the high stick of O'Reilly, kept alive by the Stars. Radulov off the stick of Binnington. Sammy Blais with the puck for St. Louis. He will clear it across to Ryan O'Reilly. Defended by Sagan. Klingberg and Perron. Klingberg moves it up the board. Schenn over for the Blues. Braden Schenn stick handling. Watched by Klingberg. Out in front, shot blocked by Heiskanen. Heiskanen off the stick of Schwartz, and the Stars clear. Back to retrieve the puck is Pietrangelo. Goes up the middle, knocked out of the air by Faksa. Sent ahead by Fedun. Hustling over to the bench was Hintz. Stars in the mid for a change. Puck carried along by Cogliano. Touch behind the net. From his knees, gets the puck to Lovejoy. Around to the far corner, Fedun moving in from the point. Hustling over is Cogliano. Cogliano in behind the net for Radek Faksa. Faksa turns, throws in front, off the stick of Como. Now it's Cogliano. Pressure in the offensive zone by the Dallas Stars. Now Tarasenko over to play the puck. Edmondson up the boards and out. Lovejoy will fire back in. Around it rolls, both teams in the midst of changes. Final minute of this first overtime. And now the Stars go offside.
Remember we talked earlier in the game with Heiskanen and Klingberg changing sides? Look what we got. You got Heiskanen on that right side, Klingberg on the left side, and look at this opportunity. The screen in front and a redirect by Radulov. Nice shot by the Stars there to try to put themselves in an advantageous situation by putting those defensemen on their offside so that if they do get the puck, they can one-time it. Nice setup there by Jim Montgomery and his staff. Close call there for the Blues.
Under a minute remaining in this first overtime period. Parayko on the puck for the Blues. Getting a stick on it was Dickinson. This will be an icing call against St. Louis. Heiskanen with the puck. How about the heart rates here in the broadcast booth? Ben and O'Reilly come together. Sagan works it back out for Heiskanen. And then across to Klingberg. Klingberg with a shot. That misses the net. Heiskanen over to play the puck. Shoots wide. 25 seconds remaining. Comes back out to Klingberg and then Jamie Benn. Picked off by Bozak. Tyler Bozak for Ryan O'Reilly. O'Reilly in behind the Dallas goal. Puck comes out in front. Perron in the crease, and it's covered up by Bishop with 12 remaining.
He almost toe dragged that thing past the glove of Ben Bishop. You'll see Ryan O'Reilly just throwing it into an area so Bozak can win the race, and watch David Perron right here. He tries to toe drag it just past the glove. Doesn't pull it far enough away from the glove. Good reaction by Bishop.
And David Perron does what he does best. Try to agitate and went into that blue paint with Ben Bishop. He's been going at it.
Puck to the boards. Time winding down. Puck through the crease. Pietrangelo blocked off by Como. 3 seconds. Here's Faksa. One final shot in overtime number 1. We have played 80 minutes in St. Louis in Game 7. This is the 13th Game 7 in NHL history to go past one overtime. Overtime number 2 underway. We have not had a goal scored in over 64 minutes since period 1. Ben with the puck. Now Klingberg. Klingberg in behind the net. Radulov tried to get it back to John Klingberg. Picked up by Jaden Schwartz. Fresh bodies on the ice for both sides. Ben up the middle, knocked off by Blais. Ben with it once again. And across the St. Louis line. Yankee Ben with a shot that misses the net. Ben to the puck. Another shot blocked by Parayko. Pollock moving in from the point. That did not make it through. Now Lindell with the puck for Dallas. Around behind. Hintz was tied up by Parayko. The puck comes to Pollock. Pollock flips one off the side of the net. Then it comes in front and is knocked out of the crease area. Holmeister and Dickinson. Good shift for the Stars. And now the Blues finally clear the puck out. Here's Perron, lost it. Hintz back the other way. Tries to catch the Blues on a change. Dickinson holds and shoots, and that was blocked to broke the stick of Pietrangelo. Dickinson keeps it alive, and now Bozak back ahead to Pat Maroon. Bishop plays it to the far side. Lovejoy for Como.
Good start for the visitors.
Now Fedun moves the puck around. Put ahead by Thomas for Maroon. Early in overtime number 2. Blues and Stars tied at 1. Bennington waits. Edmondson with the puck.
Nice patience there by Bennington to allow Cogliano to go by and pass it to where he came from.
Blocked off at the line by Heiskanen. Here's Radulov. For Miro Heiskanen. Down the left side with a shot. Save made. The rebound kept away from Radulov by Parayko. He has iced the puck.
A shot on goal is never a bad idea. Miro Heiskanen with his speed, head up. He's shooting this puck, trying to go probably through the 5-hole right there. And with the storyline all game long, Jordan Binnington, the composure that he shows right there against Andrew Cogliano has really helped hinder the aggressive forecheck game of the Stars.
Parayko up the boards and out. Comes to Heiskanen and then back to Klingberg. Klingberg up the right side, hits off the linesman. And then Sundqvist hustled off the bench. Here comes Jaden Schwartz, poked away by Klingberg. Schwartz on it once again. Hit by Klingberg behind the net. Parayko to the loose puck. Now Schenn and hits. Puck comes out to the left point. Bouwmeester for Schenn. Sends in deep to Schwartz. Jaden Schwartz for the Blues. Fends off the check attempt from Jamie Benn. Tarasenko with the puck. Out to the right point for Bouwmeester. Now Schenn with it. Good pressure from Benn defensively, and Hintz will move it down ice.
Seems like every time that Schenn is on the ice in that offensive zone, Kenny, he's a threat. The puck is finding him in the offensive zone. Icing against the Blues.
Who will be the hero? Puck gets past Lindell. Down into the Dallas zone. Bishop up the right side for Dickinson. We've played 3 minutes in overtime number 2. Stars and Blues tied at 1. This is Dunn, who scored the St. Louis goal way back in the first period before Zuccarello answered for Dallas. Pressure by Dowling. Puck sent along by Pietrangelo. Knocked down at the line by Lindell. And now it is Dunn. Bishop moves it into the corner. Lovejoy up the boards and into the Dallas bench.
Much more pedestrian pace to this second overtime than what we saw in the first overtime, but Dallas clearly has the territorial advantage.
And really, for the first time all game long, the Blues have had a difficult time entering the zone, finding some sustained pressure. First 3.5 here in double overtime game 7. They've been doing a lot of the chasing.
Off the draw, quick shot gets blocked. Faksa over to play the puck. Dallas with the only shot on goal so far in overtime number 2.
That was Thomas again off that face-off win by Tyler Bozak.
Now Parayko up the right side. Deflected along by Bozak, so no icing. Lindell. Round for Como, deflects it to Cogliano. That's Faksa on his left, 2-on-2. Cogliano holds. Now slides it across for Como, who fires on a right-hand save by Binnington. Puck is cleared out by the Blues.
Great job by Bozak to shut down Cogliano, and then Cogliano made a heck of a play to get the puck to Como.
Puck moved along by Jamie Benn. Back is Parayko. Off the side of the cage on pressure from Benn. Wraparound attempt. Binnington able to knock it aside. Dangerous moment around the St. Louis crease.
Boy, Parayko had his mind made up that he was going to move the puck, and the sticks on the forecheck by Jamie Benn. This puck almost goes directly in from the corner, and then the wraparound. That thing came awfully close to the goal line. Watch the wraparound play here, right there. That puck is very, very close to the goal line. His pad was in behind. Watch this. Benn is going to wrap this puck around right there. That puck was right along the line. Wow. And the puck has to completely cross the goal line. Play continues. Obviously, the puck did not cross completely over the goal line.
Boy, Chris Rooney was in perfect position, too, as a referee to make that call.
And they're getting some help as well on that type of play here in double overtime.
Here comes Hintz in across the line. Hintz looked to pull the string. And now Pietrangelo with the puck for St. Louis. Past Schwartz. Blues have iced it. Here is Seguin with a shot. That was blocked by Tarasenko.
Beautiful job there from Tarasenko coming across.
He's laboring, getting off.
All right, save the shot on goal.
Seguin keeps the puck in the zone. Taken away by Perron. Here comes Sundqvist with O'Reilly and Perron. Perron with a shot. That one gets blocked by Fadoon and winds up in the netting.
Boy, Taylor Fadoon's had a real good game 7, as has Ben Lovejoy, his partner.
Linesmen are telling them, save your energy, boys.
Controlled by the Stars. Lindell with the punt. Moves it across. Como. Pagliano chasing. Kept away by Parayko. Parayko down behind for Dunn. Knocked away from him by Foxa. Duran jumps on the loose puck for St. Louis. Skated ahead by Parayko. Parayko into the Dallas zone. Puts on the brakes. Defended by Polak. Parayko still with it. Out to the point. Sundqvist covering. Fires. Knocked back behind the net by Bishop. Picked up by O'Reilly. Across, and a great defensive play by Polak to keep it away from Sundqvist.
O'Reilly made that play with only one glove on. The other one he had lost. It was the bottom hand, the left hand. There's O'Reilly right there. There you see it get his glove knocked off by Foxa, and then O'Reilly throws his puck rink wide. Tremendous defense for Polak on Sundqvist.
Lewis faced 53 shots. Blues control. This is Thomas. Thomas shoots. Gets behind it. It's knocked in by Maroon. The St. Louis Blues are headed to the Western Conference Final. It took double overtime. What a game. What a series.
Going into this series, it had the makings of a long series, an even series. You get to double overtime in Game 7 to get to the Western Conference Final.
St. Louis native Patrick Maroon with his second game winner of the series, beating another St. Louis native who was brilliant tonight. Stars goaltender Ben Bishop.
Face off. Simple play. Robert Thomas gets his puck to that. Watch the reaction of Ben Bishop. He doesn't want that puck to hit him. He thinks it's going to hit him and go into the net, so he kind of ducks forward. Watch his reaction here, Kenny. Left part of your screen. Watch, it hits, and then now he doesn't want it to. Bounce back in off of him, and Patrick Maroon goes right to the blue paint. Face-off win by that line. Bozak should get an assist. And look at Craig Berube. Patrick Maroon comes over. That's a couple of large humans right there. That is a big bear hug. And the Blues go to the Western Conference Final.